Hello, and welcome to today's workshop. Learn more about Google Ads. This is very important. So, by the end of today's workshop, you will have a firm understanding of how to reach more customers for your business online using Google Ads. So, saying that, let's go and get started. Once again, we're talking about today how to learn the basics of Google Ads so you can reach more customers online for your business. I am your presenter today. My name is Sterling McKinley. I have the honor and pleasure of serving as the DMV Grow with Google Coach. And guess what? I'm also a small business owner just like you. So the tips and the advice, the strategies I give you today are not something I read online or saw on YouTube. I live and breathe this, and I use Google Ads every day to help grow my business and reach more customers as well. Also, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment below in the chat box or send me email. My email address is dmvcoach@growwithg.co. Send me email and let me know if you have any questions or comments. All right, starting out, I have a few stats for you. And this really shows how Google Ads can help business both small and large as well. How often the first place you reach online to look for a product or service is what? Google Ads. So once again, that's showing that your customer are there because when you want to search, you go there. So your customers go in there well, discover new products, new items, and other things to buy. And think about this. You might think people no longer go online, but guess what? They actually live online. And just not a catchphrase. And study shows this. So we'll cover two stats. First one, 49% of shoppers surveyed say that they use Google to discover new products and information. 49%. That's huge. Almost half of people surveyed say that they go onto Google for looking for products and new information. So what does that mean? That means your customer is going on looking for you. Let's make it personal. How many times you go onto your phone, you go on your tablet, your other device, looking for product or information? Your customer is doing the same thing to find products and information that they need for their business or for their lives. Also, 59% of shoppers surveyed say that they use Google to research a purchase they plan to make in store or online. I will say it again, in store or online. Somewhere we got this idea that people only look for things online and buy online. But a lot of time your customers do research online and then go into a brick and mortar store to buy as well. So your customer seeing a Google ad, they now have the ability to buy online or also go in the store and also make a purchase. So those are just some of the stats of why you should be using Google ads for your business, because it's a great way to reach more customers that are looking for what you sell. Now, what are the benefits of advertising online? So if you think about traditional media like the newspaper, TV, radio, these are all great, but they're limited in some ways. They give you estimates on who you reach. You can't really do advanced targeting. Now, when it comes to ads, you can do that. So one of the key benefits, you can reach your target audience. You can drill down to your audience, where they live, where they visit online, the sites that are on. You can upload demographic data, so you are targeting the people that want to buy your product on your service. Versus if you're doing traditional marketing, you're reaching everybody and hoping that your customer sees that. So if you're targeting, let's say, baby boomers, if you're targeting homeowners, you can just target homeowners and not target everybody. So that's one of the key features, that really precise and detailed targeting. Also, you can control where your ads appear and how much you spend. Yes, I said it earlier, but you can control where you spend and where your ads show. So if you want to show on certain sites, you can show there. If you want to show on YouTube or Google Maps, you can show there. Here's the key part: you can control your spend. Once again, traditional advertising works, but it can be very costly. By using Google Ads, you can go in every day if you want to, and you can change how much you spend. That's amazing. And what that does is it gives you so much control over how your ads perform and how much money you spend. And the last one is you can measure results. The additional media is estimating how many people that you may reach. When you're doing Google ads, you know exactly how many people you reach, how many people saw your ad, clicked on your website, and made a purchase. So the amount of information you can measure is amazing. And then you can use the information to target your customers. So maybe you find out that this ad is reaching the wrong customers. You can change that in real time and now target your real customers. So being measurable is great because you have the data, but also having that data helps you make smarter and wiser decisions for your digital marketing. Here's today's agenda. We're going to cover a few things. First, talk about how Google Ads works, advertising on Google, improving your ads, measuring success, and to close it out, we have a recap and resources. But to get started, we're going to show a video. And this video is of a company that we use today called Trade Street Jam Company, as an example. So watch this video, watch it, learn how she uses Google Ads in her business, and we'll come back and talk about some ways that you can use ads in your business as well.
Everybody likes jam. Who doesn't like jam? Seriously, I dream about flavors. Trade Street Jam Company makes low sugar vegan jams for pretty much everything under the sun. Honey, do you know how many things you can do with this jam? You can make cocktails, you can put on roasted meats or veggies, oatmeal. The uses are endless. I've been a chef for about 15 years. I needed something fun to do after work. I'm not a big TV watcher. I would stop at this store on the way home, grab a bunch of fruit, anything weird and exotic that they had, and I start cooking. I start jamming. Too much? You don't like the puns?
Do you like the bananas, honey?
Yeah. My husband is my test dummy, I guess you could say.
Want some more?
You like mommy's cooking?
When I started Trade Street, I was selling on another e-commerce platform, and we were also selling a lot of jam in person. But COVID hit and all the markets shut down, which freaked me out. I'm already scared about being a new mommy. And then on top of that, I'm worried about the life of my business. People started ordering specialty food online, so we immediately had to pivot and focus all of my efforts on selling online. When people go on Google and they search jam or jelly, I want them to be able to find my brand. With Google Ads, they can type those things in and I pop up. You guys, that's huge. Being able to sell on our website, it really did save us. I couldn't imagine going back to not using Google products. We went from making 2,000 jars every 2 months to making 2,000 jars every 2 weeks. Our sales increased by 1,000%. It was crazy. I've hired 4 or 5 different contractors. Hiring feels amazing. I think it's so important for our product to have a story behind it. I think when people see a woman behind the brand, a person of color, it just really adds something to that jar other than jam.
Oh, you kiss mommy. You kissing mommy.
I want Zola to be able to grow up and look at me and say, my mom did that. I wouldn't trade that for the world.
All right. Did you see that video? You saw how she used Google Ads to draw more people to her business. You saw that she used it to increase the amount of customers coming to her business. That's the power of ads on Google. You can target your customers, and by showing up on Google, high on Google, you can get more clicks, more visits to your website to buy your products and also to buy your service. Moving on, let's talk about how Google Ads works. All right, so I have a little chart here. I want to break it down. So this is explaining how Google Ads works. So first, it all starts with a search. We've all been there. We're sitting on a couch in your car. You type in an item, service you need. That's where it starts. Now, that words or phrase you type in, like baby supplies near me, kids toys near me, lawn care near me, that is called a query. A query is what you type in to find something. Then Google creates an algorithm that creates search results. That's what you see on the page of Google. You see those 10 listings. That's the search result. Now, clicks on organic websites are free. Those are websites that show up in the middle of your website, not at the top, but kind of in the middle. Those are free. You can show up. The paid search or the Google ads will show on the top, and they'll be marked by a little tag that says ads, so you know more about that. Something we'll talk about today, but the way to come up higher with Google ads, Google search is called SEO or search engine optimization. We'll get more into that in another workshop, but today we're focusing on advertising as well. So the next thing, an auction is made, and in a millisecond comes up results. And these bids are various factors that choose if you win, and that determines your rank in order. Those can be based on really the ad that shows up the highest is the ad that is most in line with what the customer typed in. So the ad has the right keywords, the right landing page, it has the right text in it. That's the ad that will show up. So that's kind of how it works. Starts with a search or query, you type it in. Advertisers can bid on a keyword, and once again, the advertiser that has the highest spend per keyword may not win. It's all based on who has the best ad, and if the ad is most in line with what the customer is searching. Let's talk more about the auction. I spoke about that a little bit earlier, but let's dive a little deeper into that. So the auction determines which ad shows in an ad position. You can be in the first, second, third rank, or you can be at the bottom as well and show up. And Google calculates ad rank to determine the winner of the auction. And this ad rank can depend on a lot of factors, such as context and quality and the competition. So it really is a process of outbidding your competition. And not only outbidding them, but making sure that your ad is in line with your customer search. That's why I recommend when you are creating a Google ad that you really get focused in detail on what thing your customer wants to see, making sure you have the right information. So when they do that search, it triggers an ad that's in line with what they want and it shows to them. I also recommend creating ads that are very targeted and focused. Having a general ad is great, but an ad that's really targeted and focused. So let's say you're a lawyer. You type in lawyer. That's a very broad keyword. A lot of searches will be found in there. But if you type in auto accident lawyer in Baltimore, Maryland, that's a more niche term. So focus on the niche, and having a niche, you will get better results from your search that way. Today's workshop will focus on pay-per-click. Now, there are various types of ads out there, but today we'll focus on pay-per-click. And mostly those are the text-based ads. And once again, to break down what is pay-per-click, literally it means you pay per click. So you don't pay if somebody sees your ad, which is great. They can see your ad, they can call you or something else, but they click on the website link and then they come to your website page. Then you get charged for that. And that charge can be whatever your bid is. It could be $1, it could be $5, it could be 10 cents. But once again, pay per click. You are only paying when somebody clicks on your website and when they come to your website, then you charge for that visit. And once again, Google has a way of tracking to make sure that those clicks are valid, that your competition is not clicking a million times, trying to exhaust your budget. They check IP address, location, all those things, make sure it's a valid click. But going back to your ad, creating an ad to solely focus on your customers' wants is one way to make sure each of those clicks are beneficial because they're in line exactly what your client wants. They're telling your customer, we do this, we don't do this. Click this ad if you want this. That's why it's so important to have a target ad, because you will get better results from your pay-per-click campaign. You can also show up on the Google Display Network, and different ways of showing up. You can show up by text ad, you can show up by video ads, or more. So another way that you can show up on Google Ads. advertising on Google. All right. So if this is your first time setting up a campaign on Google Ads, I'll walk you through that. So the first thing that you want to do to get started is you want to visit google.com/ads. All right. And when you get there, the next thing that you want to do is click start now. And then you want to sign into your Google account. The great thing about Google is if you already have a password on Google or login, let's say on YouTube or Gmail, you can use that same password and login to get into Google Ads, or you can create a new one separate just for your business. And when you get there, by default, it'll be in smart mode. And smart mode is an easier way, a simpler way to create ads. Also, it'll allow you to set up your account quickly, and also it will help with account management. I would just say if your first time being Google Ads, you definitely want to look at that smart mode, because it's going to guide you through what steps it takes to set up. Once you use ads more and more, you get used to layout, used to the settings, and then if you want, you can build an ad from scratch. But smart mode is going to help you get through the steps and make sure you build an effective ad. Once again, if there are any questions or comments, I want you to type those in the chat box, and I'll be sure to answer any of those questions. So step 2 is when you enter your business name. Pretty simple. What is the name of your business? What is the name that customers should see when they see your ad? So type in the name of your business. And moving on to step 3. Now enter the page URL where you want searches to go after they click your ad. And remember, this may not be your homepage. This term will be called the landing page. The landing page is where you want your customers to land when they click on your ad. So if you are selling clothing, you sell shoes and socks and t-shirts, well, don't send the customer to the homepage that has everything. If your ad just talking about tennis shoes, send them to a page that's just talking about shoes. That way they will see the ad. They'll be more likely to click on it and call you and come to your store potentially. Why? Because the ad is just in line with what they want. So I say don't break the chain of the flow. If they type in shoes, they come to an ad that's talking about shoes, and then they come to a landing page or a URL that's talking about shoes. You don't want to break that chain of that flow. So you want to make sure that you maintain consistency from the query to the ad to the landing page. And once again, it may not always be your home page. Type in the page that best fits what your ad is about. That way you will get a higher return on your clicks. Step 4, you can now preview that URL on your mobile phone view or on desktop view. This is great because this gives you a understanding or a view of how your client, how your website, any page may look. Once you do that, step 5 is I want you to choose an advertising goal. Choosing a goal is very important. Ask yourself, what should my potential customer do after they see your ad? Do you want a phone call? Do you want them to book an appointment? Do you want a store visit? Do you want them to play a video or download a PDF? Think about that. What is the goal of your ad? And this is very key because, of course, the goal of any ad campaign is to make a sale, but you have to remember that's not how sales work. If we go back to the old marketing adage, it takes 5, 7 to 10 times for a potential customer to make a purchase. So they may come a few times. Maybe that first visit they don't buy it, but maybe they read your blog post. Maybe they made a download. Maybe they booked an appointment for a follow-up. Maybe they watched YouTube videos. So think about that. Think about the customer sales cycle and how things work. And it really depends upon your business. If you're selling food, the sales cycle may be really short. They're not going to take 6 months to think about it. But if they're looking for a contractor, somebody's not going to come to your website and sign up day one for you to come build a house. No, they're going to research your company, your pricing, all that stuff. They want to schedule a consultation with you, interview with you. So think about that. Realistically, how does your customer become a paying customer? Think about those steps and use your ad to guide them along that process. Step 6, this is very important. This is where you actually write your ad. And your ad comes with 3 headlines, 2 descriptions, and optional, you can have a click to call button. This is very key. This is where you are telling your customer why they should click on your ad. Very important. They don't have pictures, they don't have videos. All they have is your written description. So you want to write compelling ads and headlines that speak to your customer, that are action oriented, that tell your customer to take an action. You want to describe your product, your service in as much detail as possible, and let them know why they should come to your company. The option is to add a click the call button on a mobile device. We've all been there. You simply hit a button on your cell phone and it calls that business directly. That's another way to stand out. So adding things like site links and more information or a call now button is a great way to get more traction from your ad. Once again, any questions, comments, just type them in. I'll be sure to stop and answer your question. Moving on to step 7, adding keyword themes. Themes should be relevant to the advertised product or your service. It sounds simple, but if you are having an ad about hot dogs, you don't need keywords about hamburgers. So make sure that your keywords match the ad you're talking about, and make sure that the keywords, the ad, go to a landing page talking about hot dogs. Make sure that it's on point. This section is also really cool because it can help you match related keywords. So your customer may not type in hot dogs. They might type in cookout food or something like that. Or going back to our example of jam, they might type in jam. They might type in jelly or preserve. So think about keywords that or themes that describe your product or your service. They may type in that exact word, but they may type in a phrase or other words that describe your product. So this section will help you come up with those words to add. Moving on to location, and if you're in real estate, you all know it's about location. So very important. Google Ads can be targeted to show up in various locations. So you don't have to target the whole state. You can target certain cities or zip codes in the state where your customers may live or work, or you can target zip codes around your store location. So only people around those locations will see your ads. This is very key because, once again, the more information you have of your customer, like knowing where they live or they come from, the more results that you'll see. And also you can tailor your campaign to that. If you live in Silver Spring, if you live in Towson, or whatever city or state, that can be included in the description of your ad text as well, or even your landing page. The more in line that your landing page, that your keywords are, your ads are of your customer, the higher chance to click the ad and come to your website. Step 9 is setting a budget. And setting a budget is great because there's no set budget. Automatically, Google Ads will give you a option of 3 budgets, kind of a good, better, best format. You can choose the budget that works for you. It also lets you know what amount of clicks that you may get from the ad. So if you spend $2 a day, then you will get 5 clicks. If you spend 30 a day, you will get 30 clicks. So normally the higher your spend is per day, the more ads could be clicked by your customer. Another great feature is you can pause the changes anytime. So it's not arguing for you. You can pause the campaign, or you can even change of the amount that you spend on your ads as well. Step 10, like always, you can review your campaign. This is very key. You do not want to waste time or money. So make sure that your ad is in line, that is accurate, that you have the correct phone number, the correct URL, and this in general. Make sure that the ad is going to be successful in saying all the things that you've done, because I've done that before. I've clicked send on an ad, I've had it live for a few days, and you find out eventually that the phone number was wrong or the link's not working. Make sure you review your ad, make sure it's accurate before you take it live. The final step is to set up billing and payment. And this is pretty easy to do. To set up your campaign and billing, you must do this so it can go live as well. Simply enter your billing information, and then your campaign can be set. And normally it won't appear immediately, but you'll see it in a few hours to maybe a day at tops before the ad is reviewed and made live. All right, let's go over some campaign options to get started. So one of the things about smart campaigns is a lot of what you need to do from the bidding, from your ads, keyword creation is automated. And automated, but that means you don't have to do it. That Google Ads looks at your ad, your website URL, and it gives you recommendations. Now, if you're doing the standard search campaign, you will have to come up with the bidding, with the ads and keywords on your own. Also, with keyword editing, the advertiser can manage keyword themes, and themes are cool because once again, you may not know the exact word or phrase that your potential customer is searching for, but by typing in a keyword theme, you can see related keywords. On the opposite end, if it's a search campaign, you can only bid on individual keywords. So you have to literally go through and come up with keywords or what variation of the keywords you want to bid on as well. Reporting, once again, smart campaigns is simplified and has a dashboard, and search campaigns are more detailed and more in-depth. How your ads performing, campaign, ad group, and so on. Where your ads will show, smart campaign is automated. It will automatically put your ads in certain places. And once again, a search campaign, you can choose where your ads show. The last one is the landing page. So a smart campaign, you get one per campaign. Now with search ads, you can have multiple landing pages. So once again, you can see the difference between a smart campaign and a search campaign. It's really having a search campaign, you're just getting greater visibility and you're being able to customize your campaign even more. So once again, if you're just starting out, you probably want to go with the smart campaign. If you're an advanced user, then I would suggest looking into the search campaign to get started. I want to go over the structure of your campaign and how it's set up. So the top level is the account. That's where you put in your email address, your password, billing information. From there, you have the campaign. And on the campaign level, you can set the budget or settings. And under the campaign, you have the ad group. This has your different ads and your keyword. So account level, campaign level, and then you can have the ad group level as well. That's kind of how things are broken out for your campaign setup as well. So that's a little bit of how it works and how it's set up. And, you know, once again, your main account level has the main access for your account, the billing information as well. Campaigns, you can have your bidding set in, and then you can split that billing up per keyword and ad group as well. So let's talk more about transition into expert mode. So if you're in Smart campaigns, you can navigate to new campaign and select export mode. Export mode, once again, is reserved for individuals that are familiar with the interface of Google Ads and how to get things done. So if you feel like you are ready, I would definitely upgrade to that extra mode. So let's go through how to create a search campaign. First thing you want to do is select search on the campaign. From there, you can see search settings, set up an ad group, ad creation, review, and launch. And let's go over setting up ad groups. It's very important. So ad groups are still under a campaign, but ad groups can go into a little more detail. So you can have an ad group. Your campaign could be on clothing, and you can have an ad group set for shoes, another ad group set for shirts, another one for jackets or hats. And under those ad groups, you can have different ad groups that can be based on different ads and different keywords as well. But it's really key because you want to make sure that you are having the most beneficial time with your Google ads. And by splitting them up into different ad groups, you are not only changing the spend, but you are, once again, not putting all the keywords into one main account. So if I type in a keyword about hot dogs, I'm not going to see keywords about hamburgers or about ice cream, just about hot dogs. So that's why it's important to make sure that you break your campaign up. Now in this section, I'll talk about some strategies that you can put in place to make improvements to your campaign. Simple changes may help you increase ad rank and other factors as well to make sure that your ads can appear higher. So let's get more into that. So let's further break down what is a text ad. So earlier we know some of the basics of an ad, but now let's break it down into more. So you have 3 main headlines, and each headline has a max of 30 characters. I recommend filling out it completely. So it says 30 characters. You want to make sure you have 30 characters because I like taking up the most screen real estate possible for ads. The next, you have 2 lines that describe your ad. So once again, the headlines is just kind of grabbing your attention. It could be a sale, it could be a special offer, click now. Your description is where you go into more detail. This is where you really want to sell the customer on your product and let them know why they should visit your website. And last one is the final URL. Once again, that's your landing page. That's the page that you're going to send your potential customer to. And make sure that you're choosing the page that is most relevant to your ad. So if your ad is talking about clothing, talking about sweaters, make sure it goes to a page that talks about sweaters. A few tips for writing great ads. So one, great ads are relevant to the searcher's query. So think about jam versus buying jam. You want to include keywords in your text ads. So you should see the word jam or jelly actually in the text of your ad. Also use words that inspire action or call to action. So one of those is order now, call now, book an appointment. Give your potential customer a sense of urgency of why they should visit your website. Those are some tips to make your ads stand out. And one of the key is, like I said before, is adding the keyword. Because literally, if I type in jam, I want to see jam on your ad. When I click on the link, I want to see jam as the title of that page as well. So for more tips on how to write effective ads, simply visit g.co/textadtips. You're probably asking yourself, what is a keyword theme? Keyword themes are words and phrases that match your ads for your search. So you see the screen here. Your customer may not type in your exact keyword of jam, but they might type in some of these keywords that are closely related. such as homemade jam, fig jam, strawberry preserves, fruit jam, and so on. You kind of get the idea. So having keyword theme chooses keywords that are not the same, but are in that general family of keywords. Tips to improve your keyword themes. I would aim for a maximum of 7 to 10 themes to have. And this is really key, but you want to think like your customer. And this goes beyond Google Ads in general. Anything you do online, even offline, think like your customer. What keywords would they want to see? What pictures, what colors do they respond to? What kind of words, call to actions? And then make sure you have those items in your ad. So think like your customer. How would they search to find? Even, I said this earlier that your customer may not buy right away. Think about the stage that your customer is in and what keywords, what ad copy will speak to them. Next is remember you have an advertising strategy. And that kind of goes to what I just said. People that may not buy right away. Of course, your goal is to make a sell, but think about if you can capture their email, if they can watch a YouTube video, if they can schedule an appointment. Those are all steps they're taking to make a purchase. Also, you can create separate campaigns and keywords for different themes. So once again, you shouldn't have all your keywords going to the same ad. Split up your keyword into different ad groups and make sure that those keywords speak to that. The last thing you do is add negative keywords. And negative keywords simply are keywords that you do not want to bid on. So for example, using our definition or example of jam, you want to bid on hot sauce. You want to bid on ketchup or barbecue sauce. Those could be negative keywords. And you're letting Google know these are keywords that I do not want to bid on. That's going to save you time and also help you not waste your budget as well. Switching back to extra mode, what is a keyword? So we're going to go over keywords. We're going to go with the broad, the phrase, the exact, negative, and the negative. So first, jam. Jam is a broad keyword. It's very broad. So a lot of keywords may show under that. But once again, you don't want to just have broad keywords because you may waste your spin on that. The next phase down is the phrase. So that shows ads in your search that include the meaning of your keyword. So not exactly, but in the general range. Now, exact, that's when you're really targeted. You know exactly what keyword that you're typing in. That means the same keyword that your customers type in is the same keyword that's going to be triggered in Google Ads. Next is the negative keyword. And that, once again, is keywords that you don't want your ads to show on. This is very important that you set this up because running a campaign with all broad keywords, you're going to waste a lot of money because you get a lot of window shoppers that are going to spend money, click your ads, and they're not really interested in buying your product. A tool you can use for this is called Keyword Planner. Keyword Planner helps you discover new keywords, get to see their search volume, and also performance forecasts. This is very important. So it takes out some of the guesswork in your campaigns. It lets you know what keywords you need to bid on to make sure that you get the most impact. What are ad assets? One is the call out assets. And the call out assets are something that speaks to your customer. They can be something like an address, a phone number, store rating, or page link. Next, you have your site links. This takes you to a different page on your website. So maybe this goes to your About Us section on your website. Price assets, once again, highlight the cost of a product or service. Promotion assets, once again, for promotion, highlighting a sale, promotion, things like that. So these are different pieces of content you can add to your ads. And once again, I recommend filling out as much information as possible, because the more visual real estate you take up, the more likely that you'll catch your customer's eye and they will click on your ad. Measure results. In this section, we'll talk about how to measure results, and not only that, how to turn your results into actions that can help your business. Something to think about: what are your advertising goals? I'll pause. What do you want to accomplish? And the last one, do your ads help you reach your business goal? This is very important. Even outside of Google Ads, what are your goals? What are you wanting to accomplish? Yes, you want to make more sales, but you also want to fill that customer pipeline as well. Move that customer down that pipeline. Google Ads can help you do that. So really think about, what are your goals for getting started. That will let you know how your ad should be designed, with keywords, what things should be on your destination URL, your landing page. When you think about your goals, think about your customers, that helps you plan your ad even better. For example, if you want to increase phone calls by 20%, then you should have a feature on your ads for click to call. That should be standard. So you should say call now in your ads. That way you will get more phone calls over time. So be sure to think about what your goals, and then make sure that you are inputting those goals into your campaign. Reporting terminology you may see. The first one is impressions. And impressions tell you how many times your ad was shown or displayed, not clicked on. That's the key thing. An impression doesn't mean it's clicked. It just means how many times it was displayed. So your ad could be displayed 1,000 times a day, but that's not telling you how many times your ad was clicked on. That's the impression. Next, clicks is kind of self-explanatory. That is when a user clicks on your ad, and a conversion is when a click on your ad results in the keyword a desirable outcome. So the conversion does not mean a sale. That's what we all want, but a conversion means a desirable outcome. That could be scheduling an appointment. That could be calling you for service. That could be downloading a PDF. That could be filling out a contact form. Those are desirable actions. You want those because those actions are showing that your customer is getting closer to calling you for service. So think about that. What are some of the desired actions that you want your customers to take, and that are good indications that your customer is thinking about moving forward and purchasing from your business? Reports and smart campaigns are scored simplified, and they'll talk about impressions, clicks, and optional conversions as well. Reporting, once again, is very key, because you just want to see if your ads are being effective. Now, reporting smart campaigns is a little more in depth. You can look at the ad group, the ads, the landing page, the keywords, and much more. But once again, the distinction is in search campaigns, you get more detailed information. You can also track conversions within Google Ads as well. This screenshot is showing that. Let you know the number of conversions, how much it costs to get the conversions, and much more. So this section really details that. And this is great because this is information that you want to use to improve your campaign. And by looking at what ads and what keywords have most conversions, then guess what? Then you know what ads to improve or run more or spend more time and money on, because you only want to continue to fund the ads and the keywords that are adding to your conversions, not the ones that have little no conversions. So having conversion data helps you understand more how your ads are working and how they're successful. Also, if you're using Google Analytics, which is a free tool that tracks your website traffic, you can link your analytics and Google Ads together. So now you can see your Google Ads traffic and analytics. This is great because it gives you more information on your customer. The more information, the better. You can then take the information and you build it in to have more successful ads for your company. All right, moving on to resources and recap and give you some more additional items to learn about. So let's review. We learned about a few things today. We learned about how to set up your account, how to advertise on Google, how to improve your ads, measuring your ads as well. And now, of course, we're at the recap. If you enjoyed today's workshop, I would encourage you to visit our YouTube channel. It is updated regularly with information, short videos that are helpful to help you grow your skills, career, your business. Simply visit youtube.com/grow with Google. Also, Google offers career certificates. These are certificates in several job fields that are in demand and employers are currently hiring for. You can earn a certification in 6 months in a self-paced course, ranging from data analytics to e-commerce, digital marketing, user design, and cybersecurity. To find out more, simply visit grow.google/certificates. And before I leave today, one question I want to ask you: what is your action plan? I want you to write down in the comments or in your notes. Write down what will you do to promote your products or services online. Think about that. What will you do to promote your product and your services online? Take a moment, think about that, and jot it down either in the comments or just make a note for yourself. Some answers could be running Google ads. It could be improving your ads. It could be getting a better understanding of your customers' needs and wants, or simply thinking more like your customers and making sure that your website and your ads speak towards your customers. So once again, jot down what are you going to do to promote your products and your services online. And saying that, I want to thank you for your time today. I hope you learn more about how to use Google Ads to grow your business. Do me a favor. I invested an hour of my time helping you. So if you can, scan this QR code or go to this web address, g.co/grow/feedback, and fill out a brief survey and let me know how this workshop benefits you. Saying that, I want you to have a good day and I'll see you soon. Take care. Goodbye.